Hi, here we are to learn today about something called as we are going to learn something about statements, conditional statements. What if there were no decisions to be made in life? Wow, I think that's pretty impossible, right? Okay, that would be good. Some people, I mean, we would feel sometimes, okay, that would be good if we didn't have to make a decision. But of course, at every point of life, we need to make a decision. Okay, so a decision has to be taken not just in life but also in a program. We might have to take a decision. Okay, so maybe we might have to say, if this happens, then I do this. If this does not happen, I don't do this. Let's say, for example, I say tomorrow if it rains, I say i'm not going to go to I'm not going to go to college. Oh, if it rains, I won't go to college. Then what will you do? If I don't go, of course, if it rains, I don't go to college. But if it does not rain, what will you do? I will go to college. So you have your priorities, right? So if it rains, I don't go to college. But if it does not rain, I go to college. But say, for example, it did not. It rained. Okay, and if it rained, then what you could do some other task. Okay, so this is some decision that you have to make with regards to going to college, not going to college, or if that happens, if it doesn't happen, then what should I do, what I should not do, and so on. So a decision has to be taken when a script or a program comes to a point where there, where you have to make a choice. Okay, so basically the decision depends whenever the value of the variables or the arithmetic, in such a way that the expressions turn out to be either a true or a false. If true, I should do something. If false, I shouldn't do something. So we have a lot of conditionals out here. Okay, in Python we have something called as an if else and a elif. Let me say I'm going to take the marks from the student. Okay, so I'm going to say marks is equal to, I'm going to tell him, I'm going to tell the user input, enter your marks. Now whatever I input from the user, I need to convert it into an integer. Okay, so I say enter your marks, but after telling him to enter his marks, I need to tell him, okay, I enter your marks, but I want to check if you have passed or failed. So if I say if, I'm going to use the keyword if, which says if marks are greater than 35, or if marks are greater than 35, I need to put this colon out here. Without the colon, just like functions, it won't work without the colon. And when you press a colon, you're going to have an indentation which is going to be there automatically, generated by Python. But you need to have this indentation, without which whatever statements you want under if need to be indented under the if not, it will raise an error for you. So if marks is greater than 35, I will print what? I'll print hooray, you have passed. But if marks are not greater than 35, okay, so I can say else. That means he does not come in this category of marks greater than 35. Then what should you print? You can say, sorry, better luck next time. Yeah, so we can say that. Okay, so here you have something where you made a condition. If you remember, I used one of the conditional operators, greater than. If marks is greater than 35, so this is a conditional operator which I used in order to do that. So let me just save this file, and I'm just going to save it, let me say in desktop, in Python for IoT. I'm going to save it out there, saying it is conditional statements. Okay, and I'm going to have run. Enter your marks, 50. Hooray, you've passed. But if I say enter your marks and I say 25, sorry, better luck next time. Hope you understood how Python takes a decision by saying an if or an else. But what if instead of just saying whether you've passed or failed, what if only we could say something like, no, it's not about pass or fail, but I also need to tell him whether he's got a distinction, whether he's got a first class, whether he's got a second class, and whether he's got a pass class, whether he's failed. So I need to give him just more, not just if or else. I just don't need to take decision and I say yes or no like black and white, but I have different shades of gray, in my output. How do I do that? So I can say if marks is greater than 75, I can say congrats, you've got distinction, right? But but I just cannot say else now. Why? Because I have a lot of cases. So instead of else, I have one more keyword. Python provides me a keyword called as elif. Elif, which means else, and you're going to have one more if, which is elif, and you can put more conditions out here. That means marks. Okay, so here I can say marks greater than equal to 75, but if marks are less than 75, okay, but not just less than 75, I also need to tell him, oh, I need to tell him that marks can also be not just less than 75, but also if I can get my marks above 60, I can say you are first class. But now how do I specify a condition which says marks less than 75 and your marks should be greater than 6? I need both these conditions to be fulfilled. There comes another operator which I'm going to introduce to you. The operator is called as, okay, the operator that we are going to see for now when we do this particular operator is an operator which does bitwise operations. Sorry, it is going to do the logical operations. Logical operations, which means elif marks is less than 75 and not or, and marks less than or equal to 60. If it is less than or equal to 60, I'm going to print first class. Elif marks less than 60 and marks greater than 45, I can say print second class. And then elif, I can have one more elif condition where marks are less than, oh, here it is less than 45, less than equal to, greater than equal to, and I can say less than 45 and marks are greater than or equal to 35. I can say print could do better, but you've passed. Okay, that's it. So, and but else say print sorry, better luck next time. Okay, so you say, and that's how you do that, and say function f5, you enter your marks. If I enter somewhere around 50, it should tell me, oh, you're first class. Am I first class? Oh yes, I am first class. Less than 60. Oh, I did a mistake here. If marks less than 75 and marks less than equal to 60, no, greater than equal to 60, that's why it printed for me first class. It should have told me second class. Okay, so I did a mistake out there. So now if I say enter your marks and I say 50, it will say second class. Okay, but if I run the same program and say, and then it says enter your marks and I say 64, it says first class. Hope you understand that. Okay, and then if I say something like 80, congrats, you've got distinction. Okay, so this is where you make not just an if or an else, but also you have more if, elif conditions. So here we made use of some operators called as the conditional operators, as well as we made use of something called as a logical operators. We're going to have a look at these logical operators a little more in the next lecture. Till then, happy learning, keep practicing. Thank you.